Open your ears and lube up your butthole. It's time for the What Do We Call It podcast. Now, here's your host. It's Jmann. Welcome to the What Do We Call It podcast. I'm Jmann.
And I'm number one fan, Tim.
How do you feel about swearing?
I'm okay with it. I do it a lot.
As am I, and do I. But there are some people that no matter how much you try to get them to will not swear. They think swearing is just abhorrent, and it's the lowest form of communication. If you do it, you're unintelligent.
I know people who think that way, but I think everyone I actually hang out with or even talk to at all swear at some point.
Yeah, at work there's some upper crust motherfuckers in the higher echelon of administration who never swear. And,
where you work?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And
one of them even was so bold one time as to say, well, I'm not just trying to throw you-know-what at the wall and see what sticks.
What? Wow.
And when he said that, I want to be like, are you serious right now? You can say throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. I don't think anybody's going to call your mom and tell her that you were swearing on the playground. No, grow the fuck up. You're a 50-something-year-old man.
I wouldn't want to say fiddlesticks or anything like that.
Yeah, what a twat.
Jesus Christ.
Anyways, I'm going to read you about one study and then another story pertaining to the topic.
If it's okay, I'll let you hear them, but then I'll give you my opinion on them.
For those who are frequently told off for littering their vocabulary with swear words, perhaps a new defense might work. I was just being honest. Researchers from the University of Cambridge, Maastricht University, Hong Kong University, and Stanford found that those who swear more are more likely to be honest people.
Huh. I am pretty honest.
So like I'm saying about these upper crust fuckers at work that are running the show that never swear.
Ooh.
And I've said there's some crooked motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Correlation with this study right there.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Yeah. The authors studied 276 people in a lab, the social interactions of 73,789 people on Facebook, and measured the average profanity scores against the integrity index for each U.S. state. Their study, which will be published in the Social Psychological and Personality Science Journal, there's a mouthful, concluded that a consistent positive relationship between profanity and honesty existed. Profanity is associated with less lying and deception at the individual and with higher integrity at the societal level. So what they're saying is people that swear are more trustworthy, and that in society more people will trust you if you just free flow with the filth, not to excess per se. I mean, that might determine their judgment of your level of intelligence. But
that's just to be judgy.
So if somebody comes and gives you this, perfectly swear-free, highfalutin explanation of why you need to buy into their bullshit, versus another guy who's like, here's why I think this will work. And then they explain basically the same thing, but they say fuck twice and shit once. Like, okay, speak my language. You're going to, if you swear, buy into that second person's ideas more because they seem more down to earth and more like you. Mm-hmm. Whereas that first person could be fucking totally lying through their teeth because they're using fancy $5 college words. You're like, boy, I guess we better trust him because he sounds really educated, when in reality he's like an oil tycoon who's trying to fuck you out of your land.
Gotcha, bitch! No, yeah, that does kind of make sense. Because most people that, like I said, the ones that don't swear that often, I mean, they are some shady people.
Yeah. And it's funny because my mom, up and down all her life has sworn.
Oh, yeah. Terribly.
But she acts like she doesn't, and she tries to pretend or say that she doesn't really swear and that I swear so much, and it's awful. And then she proclaims to be such an honest person, but she can't remember details worth of shit.
Yeah, and same way. I've known people who curse and swear as much as I do, if not more, and they've been some of the biggest pricks I've ever met.
So one of the co-authors, David Stilwell from the University of Cambridge, told The Independent, it's a media resource, the main thing we found is if you filter your language when speaking, then you're probably also filtering what you're saying as well. You're less likely to be about what you think and more about what you think other people want to hear. Someone who does not filter their language, so swears, is more likely to be saying what they think to be true, so are being more honest and genuine from their perspective. In the lab, when participants were asked their reasons for swearing, the majority said it was to express their negative emotions and their true self. Participants said in their experience, they often swore to be more honest about their feelings. And Professor Stillwell says the honesty they measured was low-level, everyday honesty, in terms of people giving their real and true opinions rather than measuring, quote, lies that would get you sent to jail. Previous studies have also waned in favor of the prolific swearer. Last year, a study suggested it was more intelligent people who swear more often.
I've heard, that's one that I've heard before, and I don't know. Part of me wants to say there's just to make people who swear a lot feel better.
Like adult bed pissers?
Yeah.
Everybody has that dream about swimming, and then they wake up and, well, it looks like you were in your own filth.
But I've had lots of dreams where I'm swimming, and I've never once woke up with a wet bed, so, I mean, I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about it. Because, yeah, I did really good in school. You know, I had good grades. But I honestly don't feel that intelligent. I don't know, maybe I am. I recall a lot of book knowledge and stuff like that, you know, stuff that I remember learning in school, you know, when I can actually remember it, but
yeah,
I don't think I'm intelligent because I swear.
Okay, well, here's the second thing I wanted to read. According to science and some studies, there's a bunch of reasons that swearing is good for you. Researchers have decided that those who swear regularly are more happy, healthy, intelligent, and, of course, honest. One study indicates that during an argument, using profanity can lead to higher effectiveness and persuasion. If you're trying to be seen as passionate and firm in stance, using swear words can help your agenda. Along with this, studies show that those who curse have higher levels of integrity and can, in turn, be much more honest people. Hence the previous study I mentioned.
Yeah.
According to further research, those who use profanity tend to lie less, as tested on the lie detector exam. In terms of your mood, researchers also say that letting out a few bad words every now and again can actually release endorphins, like exercising, and can overall improve your mood. There's nothing like letting out a few F-bombs when you're having a really bad day, right?
Yeah.
If you're looking how to test your intelligence, knowing really bad words can also lead to the indication that you have a better vocabulary than those who don't know as many bad words. As well, cursing can be linked to having a higher IQ. Fuck shit! So the next time someone tells you to watch your mouth or language, be sure to inform them that you're only looking to better your own health and soul. And also take pride in the fact that you're probably smarter than they are. So I kind of got to connect a few dots in this story because it was vague, but they're basically saying that if you're swearing, you're communicating more passionately, meaning you may tend to use a greater differentiation of words, peppered with filth, but you'll be more believable, and you're speaking honestly. And then on top of it, if you use really mashed up, hilarious combinations of filth, it shows that you have stronger linguistic skills.
I can see how they're...
Well, this is
I
hard.
was just trying to think, it's just like, that actually sounds just like you.
Thank you, by the way. It harkens back to when I first really learned how to swear for my folks. I didn't know how to do it, and then I was doing it with reckless abandon. Then people commented about what a potty mouth I was up north.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, I took stock of your brother and how he just had the right words at the right times and the right amounts.
Yeah, he did.
So, I mean, learning to, quote, swear with style is something you need to do. And once you get that, you can effectively utilize or wield these words to properly influence people. Now, if I'm at work and some guy gets me hot and bothered because he's up in my face, like I had a guy who was really pissed off about something. Not anything I did, but in general.
Like an inmate or...
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's talking like 3 inches from my face, which is not okay.
Yeah.
And it's a jail, so get out of my bubble. And he's talking, and I could have been like, I'm going to need you to step back for my own safety. But I would have sounded like a doorknob. And I said, back the fuck up off me. And he did, immediately. I'm like, now take a breath and tell me what you're so upset about. I achieved my goal of creating personal space, and I only had to use one bad word, which management would throw a hissy fit about. Did I use naughty language? But there was another instance where I had some female that was trying to have me unlock a door for her to get into a cleaning area.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to get my keys out to open the thing. I'm like, Hey, I bet you I would have a much easier time doing what I'm trying to do right now if you weren't standing half on top of me, huh? Didn't swear. Still kind of a dick.
Mm-hmm.
And she backed off.
Bye, Felicia.
So now I've got an instance that actually supports both claims. That swearing is effective and you're communicating more honestly, and not swearing and being professional, but just my tone changed, got her out of there so I didn't have to cuss. Both eloquent means of communicating my point. I mean, one was a far more simplistic than the other.
Yeah, I was a bigger fan of the first one.
Right. But I'm not supposed to swear because I've gotten in trouble for using naughty language at work before, and I'd hate to get fired for using naughty language again.
I love hearing my boss's boss swear. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because she's a lady, so you don't, when you see her, you don't expect her to curse, but then all of a sudden you'll hear her just like drop an F-bomb, and it's just like, whoa, that's funny.
Yeah. So, do you have any examples of things she said?
Recently? No. Fuck! God, I haven't hardly seen her recently.
Think about anything she might have said.
Well, over the past summer, we were trying to unload a bunch of equipment. We had picked up a detour that we did, and we had a bunch of extra drums and stuff, and we're trying to get them off the truck. And I remember she comes back there, she's like, "Where's all this shit from?" And I was like, "Well, it's over on this road." She's like, "Oh, well, have fun. Looks like a lot of work." I mean, you don't, because she's upper management, I guess.
Right.
So you don't expect her to swear, and she comes back, she drops that time, she said shit, and
Did the sky immediately begin to fall?
No.
Go figure.
It just made me feel more relatable to her, she's not some untouchable, or I'm an untouchable and she's some kind of hierarchy or some shit.
Well, it's when people that are in positions of power put out these false airs of propriety, like they don't ever say naughty words. They don't ever cuss. Like it somehow completely betrays their attained status. Oh, I can't say those words. I have to lead by example. Well, then you could throw a few out from here from time to time, and people might see you as a human being instead of a machine who's constantly trying to say the right thing.
Yeah. And you know what? It's like, now that I'm thinking about it, most of the people in the front office of where I work are that exact person. I've never heard a lot of them curse.
Mm-hmm.
And they always speak proper, and they always speak with I guess kind of authoritative voices, kind of just like, I know more than you, kind of. But then when I look at the other part of the front office where, I'll consider the people that are in the field a lot, they're just in the office. They have an office in the office, and they're in there for a portion of the year or a portion of the day because they're on the road so much. Those are the people I can relate to the most because they're the ones that are constantly swearing. They're honest about stuff, and it's just easier to relate with them. Whereas if we do this thing where once a month a certain group of people get together in one of the boardrooms and have bagels and coffee and whatever, and it's just like an hour BS session to kind of get to know other people that work there. And I always feel out of place, even though there's another guy from the maintenance department and there's a guy from fleet. It's like, I know how the three of us would normally talk with each other, but because there's other people from the front office there, we censor ourselves.
Hello, how are you doing? Tell me about that thing that you partook in this weekend.
Exactly. That's what it sounds like. It's just like, oh, I am doing very well. This weekend, we went jogging for 3 miles. Whereas I think any other time, I sat around and didn't do a fucking thing.
I sat on my ass all weekend.
Yeah, I feel like I have to censor myself around those particular people. But anywhere else I go where I work, and it's just, let it fly.
Yeah, well, these dicks at work that run the show, and whenever you have to talk to them, I swear to God, I just feel like they're peddling nonstop bullshit. There's no cracks in the facade. It's all too well rehearsed, and the wheels are squeaky clean. They've all been greased. So, I mean, they're saying all these fancy things, or they're trying to communicate their points, and I don't want to listen to you. You sound like a fucking robot. Mm-hmm. A robot with a no swear filter.
It's like those people you call text center. They're reading off a
script.
A script. It's like, oh, okay, the customer said they tried that, so you flip to this page, and this is your response or your suggestion. It's kind of like that, right? I mean, it's rehearsed. It's not actual genuine.
Well, there's this one guy, and it's disgusting. He is on a propriety jihad. He's a He's like a PC extremist.
Oh, God. Really?
He is, like, I swear to God, I bet you he considers himself a male feminist.
Is he a non-binding, transgender, fluid,
No.
them?
No,
Okay.
He's a married man with 2 children. He's married to a woman. But I just feel like
That's a facade.
everything is all just, oh my God, the women are suffering and the disadvantages of people of color. And he won't even say the word racism. He's like perceived bias. It's sickening. It's sickening. Now, he had to address the fact that I made a comment to an inmate that contained a reference to feces. And he couldn't even say, I don't even know why anybody would talk about that. He's just like, I don't know why anyone would just,
And this is one of your bosses?
This is my boss's boss. He's a grown fucking man in his late 40s. And he couldn't even say like poop or crap or feces.
I imagine him being a person who feels that he is better than everyone around him because
Oh, yes.
he works in a jail. So therefore, he has to separate himself from everybody else. And unfortunately, that includes staffers like you. Otherwise, he will feel like he's just one of them and he belongs in there. Like, he's trying to fool himself into thinking, if I talk a certain way and I don't use this naughty language, I am better than all these people. Because if I use the word shit, I am just like them and I deserve to be in jail.
Well, it's just, he has made comments that, we're supposed to tell the inmates not to swear. Tell them they need to watch their mouths. And here's the one that made my jaw drop one time in a meeting. He's like, tell them they need to watch their mouths. I don't like to hear that. Tell them to clean up their language if they're dropping so many F-bombs. And another thing, if you hear them talking badly about women, you tell them that that's not okay. And I took that to mean that if I hear 2 guys talking about broads like they're sex objects, I should go in there and be like, hey, that is really out of hand, and you should respect women and not talk that way.
Well,
am I going to tell fucking grown men that they can't discuss their notches on their belt or make fun of stuff? Like, I'm already in charge of their safety and security and babysitting them for breaking the law. Now I have to be the fucking thought police?
No.
That's how close to the movie 1984 are we getting here?
It's really close.
Where I have to sit here and control how you communicate. And this is the bigger point here of why I'm doing this episode. I swear. And I've rarely ever had people tell me I swear too much, or they don't like that I swear. I can tell when certain people don't want to hear a bunch of swear words because I never hear them use any. So I'll clean it up to an extent. Like, I won't drop the F word, and I damn sure ain't going to say the C word.
I almost never use the C word. I don't find it that applicable and stuff.
No, you just got to find the right example and then just pepper it in there.
I have. Well, okay, we let our dog out the other day, and I was like, go potty. And so River, I can use her, it's a dog, runs out, and she starts squatting right in the middle of the backyard. But that's not where she's supposed to do her fucking business. She's supposed to go behind the garage near the fire pit and do it back there. Well, she wanted to squat down in the middle of the yard. I opened the door. I was like, no, River, you get your ass back there. But she'd already, I could tell she squirted a little bit, but then she took off running back there, and she was back there a good long while, and I shut the door. I was like, fucking cunt. She knows where she's supposed to go to the bathroom. And I looked over, and Mrs. Number One's like, I could see the look on her face.
Disgust
that's what
that
she
you
was
used
thinking.
the C-bomb.
Like, I called her dog a cunt.
Okay, here's my takeaway from you telling that story like you just did. You were like, it's okay, I can say the dog's real name because it's a dog. And glazed over the fact that you said you sent the dog out to go potty.
I'm so used to saying it with the kids around. Whoever gotta go potty, she knows the word. Her training, we always used the word potty when we were training her to go outside and do her business. Shit, piss, whatever.
It's just a prime example of how certain words communicate the same point, but they give a different perception of you to people around.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, so I can say her name because she's a dog because we don't use real names on the show, but you never mind that you talked about a fucking animal going shit outside. You're like, going potty.
But
it's
well, I guess I just mentioned it because, like, you usually bleep out the names if I accidentally say the name.
Do you need me to bleep out the dog's name?
That's completely up to you at this point, but her name is and she's a cunt because she keeps shitting in the wrong part of the yard.
See, you said exactly what you felt, and I believe you, and that you were speaking from the heart because you use naughty language. Like I'm saying, if I was to run as a politician it would be very uncouth of me to speak the way I do in everyday language at rallies, at fundraisers, on the news. But why should I clean my mouth up? Words can't hurt you.
See, if you start cleaning your language up because you're running for office, now you're being just like the rest of the politicians, thinking you're bigger. I have to be bigger and better and use proper language.
It's a fucking facade, is what it is.
That's what it is. Yeah, and you wouldn't get my vote if you talked like that.
Right, because people that would know would be like, what the fuck is he talking about up there? Did
I
he
can
just go
imagine.
45 minutes and not swear? And he said people of color. He didn't even say black guys or brown people. And you saw him almost take a tumble going up the steps to the pulpit to talk at the debate. And he just went, oh my, that was a close one. Whereas if I tripped, I'd be like, what the fuck?
I could just see those of us who are your friends being like, what the hell's wrong with your language? Come on, don't clean it up.
Well, if I did that, I'd go up to the microphone and be like, holy shit, that was close, huh? And the crowd would laugh, and a few would be like, oh my. And then be like, don't fucking vote for me, you white people that are rich. Fuck off. But, okay, I'm going to politicize this whole idea now.
All right.
Why did Trump get elected?
He didn't talk like a politician.
Right. He said exactly what he felt at the moment. Now, to his detriment, he says whatever he feels all the time without thinking about it first. He's not very skilled at formulating the right words. He's real great at having to backpedal or pretend he didn't do anything wrong. But like, well, I'm not going to apologize for that.
Well, at least, again, he'd be like, well, I'm not going to apologize for it. I mean, what do you want to have? Well, what's worse? A politician such as Trump who just off the cuff says what he's thinking, whether it be wrong or right, or a politician like Obama who is...
God, here we go.
Well, I'm just using examples here. I got three, okay?
Do you not
Obama's
think that Barry was dropping F-bombs in the Oval Office?
I'm fully aware that he was. Okay? Totally aware that he was. I don't believe for a second that he never fucking swore.
That famous
But
picture of him holding his chin and looking at a computer screen while they're trying to pull off the SEAL Team 6 assassination of Osama bin Laden.
When the hell are these cocksuckers gonna get this done? Because I want to go to bed, you motherfucker.
I pictured him sitting like, oh, we are going to get this motherfucker. Oh, my God, people are going to be on my dick so hard. And then they shot him, and they report that he's down. And they're like, we got him, sir. And he's like, goddamn right we did.
I picture him being more apprehensive. Anyway, but, I mean, who's well thought out of what he says, but it's a facade? Or do we want someone like Bush who tries to speak intelligently but just can't pull it off?
Evildoers.
You know, so in the end he's trying to explain what he meant instead of like, oh, well, I didn't mean to say that wrong, you know, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, you know.
Fool me twice, I'm a fool.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I can't remember how he did it, but I mean, he fucked it up and... So,
Makes
I mean, those are the three examples.
Fools Rush In.
Which one is your preferred poison?
Well, that's the downside, is that we're going from one extreme to the other. We need somebody in the middle, which is why Jmann in 2020 is exactly who you want to vote for. I'll be of age. I have no political experience, so I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, I need to obey a party, because I don't believe in a two-party system.
Go libertarian.
I would go independent.
That's almost the same thing.
Basically, yes, but I'm just saying, it's a bit for the show, but I'm serious. You could elect me president, and it'd be a wild ride.
Fucking right. And like I said, I'd vote for you, but you better not clean up your language.
No, and you're not going to hear about me fucking some porn star and then giving her a big grab bag of $1,000 bills to shut her dick hole. Shh, quiet, bitch. Don't let anybody know we fucked. So that's the thing, is we're at a time when everything's supposed to be so PC and so cleaned up and everything is immaculate and you don't want to offend anybody or, oh my God, their feelings. When in reality, studies show, scientific evidence reflects, we have proven time and time again that we like people that shoot from the hip, that say what they think, that don't try to clean up their language. If it wasn't for the FCC, do you honestly think no one would swear on television?
I think everyone would.
Of course,
and radio and everything. In fact, that's why some people have XM radio or Sirius, is so they can hear the curse words. You know, listening to Howard Stern when he's not censored is way better than listening to him when he was on NBC and he couldn't swear.
Oh, like America's Got Talent, and he's just like, hey, I'm here on a panel of judges. Well,
have you ever heard
bring
his
out the dancing poodles
broadcast? Have you ever heard his regular broadcast?
What do you mean his regular broadcast?
Well, he was on NBC for so many years. They actually had him syndicated here on The Edge so many years ago. And I listened to it. And I was like, wow, this is really great shit, man. This guy's hilarious. But I've seen his movie Private Parts, and I had caught little bits and pieces in like interviews and stuff from him. And it's like, this man curses a lot. So how much cooler would it be to hear him doing his regular show where he curses? That's why he left NBC and he started his own shit on XM.
Right.
So he didn't have to censor himself. He could talk whatever he wanted. He could have all the hookers and strippers in there riding the big giant box of fun. I'm going to call it. I don't know what it's called.
Is that the vibrating dildo box or
yeah,
whatever?
That. He had Carmen Electra on there. I saw the video of it. She was riding that thing, and it's wow. But they would never have gotten away with that on NBC. So it's just better, honestly, if you can listen to people speak the way they want to speak, the way they normally speak, whether they curse or not. And I have to believe that everybody curses. Even your dipshit second up boss probably curses when he's at home, but probably just to himself because, I'm better than everybody else.
Well, there was one time when he was on his little BlackBerry device or whatever doing something. I thought I heard him say, "Oh shit," and I sat up like, "What?" I wanted to honestly like, did you just say, "Oh shit"? Because I'm fine with it. I want to make sure my ears are working properly right now. I feel like I need to write down the date and the time and then go home tonight and buy a lottery ticket because holy Christ, did you just say that? Do you need to go to confession or you want to call your wife?
No,
I mean, she's probably got your balls at home in a glass case.
You're hearing things.
If she's not on top of some, bigger, more well-hung gentleman, and she's like, "Fuck me like you mean it." And he's like, "Bitch, I'm going to tear your pussy in half." Whereas I'm sure he's the kind, my boss's boss, who only believes in missionary and cuddling both before and after. With a kiss on the forehead before he gets in the shower to wash off the dirty juice from the icky coitus. Interact with the show on Twitter at What Do We Call It? That is at What Do We Call It? You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/What Do We Call It podcast show. For the What Do We Call It podcast, I'm Jmann.
And I'm number one fan, Tim.
And that's the end.